Today I'm going to be talking about Rust, the programming language. Rust is a statically compiled language that's growing very quickly. It's a systems level programming language, so that makes it similar to C++ and C in that it can be used for bare metal programming, like programming microcontrollers and operating systems. And it also has enough abstraction that it can be used to create web servers, CLI interfaces, and eventually user interfaces with the development of the Agile GUI framework. So I think it's something that'll be useful to know. Companies that are currently using it, Mozilla, Dropbox, NPM, Postmates, Braintree, and even Facebook as of last week with their new cryptocurrency, Libra. So yeah, it's something good to know. I'm going to walk you through the Hello World application along with getting it set up in your environment. So to start off, you'll go to rustlang.org and then you'll click Getting Started. I'm installing this on a Windows machine, so I'm going to download the rust-up-init.exe file. So it's going to queue up a download. I'm not actually going to install it because it's already installed on my system, but I am going to show you how to check to see if it is installed. So you can run rust up, and this is going to show you that you have the Rust toolchain installed. You can also do cargo to see if cargo, the Rust package manager, is installed. So both of those are installed. If for some reason you got an error or it said that the environment variable wasn't available, you could go and you could configure your environment variables. Click here, environment variables, and then go to path. You'll need to make sure that cargo-bin is available beside your username in the environment path variable. So that's, once you do that, you'll probably need to X out of your CLI and possibly reboot, but then everything will be available for you. So I'll go ahead and create an application. So we'll go to desktop, make a directory, and we'll call this Rust sample CD. And then cargo new Rust app. All right, so this created a Rust application for us. We referenced cargo, the package manager, to do that. So we'll cd into this. All right, so I'm going to open this in Visual Studio Code. And we'll do Rust sample app. All right, so here what you have auto-generated is a cargo.toml. So this is the name of the application, the version, which is auto-generated, the author that it pulls automatically, and the edition 2018. This is the most recent version of Rust, to my understanding. If you try to update it to 2019, the build will fail. You also have a dependencies area where you'll reference the cargo packages. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So in addition to that, you have an src, so you have main.rs, and this is a hello world function. So if we run this application using cargo run, we'll see in the console hello world. Okay, so now that we have the application running, I'm going to show you how to define a variable. So let's do username. Let username equal deny. And then let hello world equal hello world. All right, so to pull my username in here, I'm actually going to add curly braces, and this is the syntax for Rust. Curly braces and then username. So here we're pulling in the environment variable, and here we are assigning where the environment variable should print. All right, cargo run. And what's really nice is whenever you get an error in Rust, it'll usually help you fix this error immediately. You don't get a lot of fuzzy logic here. So what they've said is we have an extra curly brace thanks to a typo. And let's run this again. All right, so now we have an I printed to the console. So I'm going to reference the second variable. We'll do hello world. All right, so When you're using multiple variables, you can reference them like this. So 0 we'll pull in the first, and then 1 we'll pull in the second. So we're going to print hello world, exclamation point, and then comma, space, Unai. Hello world, Unai. Okay, so now that that's working, I'm going to show you how to reference an environment variable. So the reason you would do this, create an environment variable, is this is going to go in the src. Let's do a new file, env. So if you're pulling in, for example, an external API, and whenever you deploy from your dev environment to production, you need this API URL to change, you would define it in an environment variable. You would define it as an environment variable in the .env file. So this is going to be really helpful. So let's add a URL. So homepage URL equals, let's say my homepage is github.com. Okay, so I'm going to pull this environment URL into this file. And in order to do that, I'm going to reference an external dependency within Cargo. So we'll go to the Cargo website, which is crates.io. All right, I'm going to look for the .env crate. So here we have the version. The most recent version is 0.14.1. I'm going to reference that in the cargo.toml file. And then we'll see what's really nice about crates and Cargo in general is they always provide usage examples and also links to the home page of the dependency, the documentation, the GitHub repository, and anything that the crate's dependent on. So I found it really helpful. Yeah, so in order to get this running, so we've referenced the dependency. All right, now we need to pull homepage URL into the application. All right, so in order to do that, we're going to reference the crate, and this is going to go above the main function. So we're going to declare extern crate.env. That's going to pull in from the cargo.toml file. And we're also going to declare that we're using particular functionality within the .env. And then on top of that, we're going to refer to the std env functionality. So anything with this abbreviation, std, is going to be what's shipped with Rust. So you don't need to declare anything in cargo.toml. This is just available for reference from the Rust library. Okay, so now we're going to pull in the homepage URL. We'll declare this. Home URL equals env var homepage URL, and then we'll do unwrap, which will pull this environment variable from the file and assign it to home_URL. You'll use unwrap pretty frequently in Rust. So you can technically, and I'll show this in subsequent tutorials, you can assign error messages, you can do all of your testing as well on your environment, on your variables in general, just to make sure that these are available, and you can actually error out the application if something isn't available. So this is going to be really helpful for testing, and I'll show this to you in subsequent tutorials. So let's see. So now home URL should be pulling in this homepage URL. So I'm going to assign this here. Actually, I'm pretty particular about the naming conventions, so I'm going to change all of these to underscores. This is something that's done pretty frequently in Rust. You see underscores a lot. Okay, so hello world Unai, your home page is, we'll reference the home URL. All right, so let's run that. Okay, so what's nice, we're hitting another error, and essentially what this is saying is that we referenced .env and we didn't use it at all. So what we forgot to do here is we check actually to make sure that the .env is okay. We're calling this, every time you reference an environment variable, you need to make sure to add .env .ok. So let's try running this again. All right, so here we have hello world, Unai, your home page is github.com. So as you've seen, the error handling works really well. It makes developing with Rust really nice, and also it's relatively simple to just get up and running and start building out your console application or whatever application you'd like to build. One thing that I found really helpful as I've been using Rust is the Rust book. This is the official book, doc.rustlang.org. Let's see. So you can check out Rust by example. I would just go to this book, read through, get up to speed on all the different aspects of Rust. You probably do this in a day. Go through a few of the tutorials, and then start checking out the blogs that are available on the web. But yeah, this is a really good place to get started, and I found it helpful. All right, and yeah, that's it. So I'll be showing you how to do a CLI application in subsequent tutorials, along with a bit deeper dive into the functionality of Rust. Thanks for watching.